if you went through the 844 system, then what I'm about to do is exactly somehow related to that concept. In this morning, I was reading Security Analysis, the 1940 edition, which is a book which was written by Benjamin Graham and David Dodd. So there are a few concepts which I have grasped by just reading this book. That is, I have crammed those concepts, and I somehow want to share those concepts with the internet. So if you are one of those individuals who is interested to have an deeper understanding of what is relating to the stock market investment and also the bond market, then just go ahead, subscribe, like, and also don't forget to share. Remember, this is not financial advice. It's I trying to share some of my growth perspectives on when it comes to the knowledge of investment, more especially in the stock market. So I am going to kind of give out what I crammed. At the same time, before I fully understand, I am sure I am going to make some mistakes when explaining this concept. So if you are aware some of the mistakes which I'm going to commit, then remember to make those corrections in the comment section. Now, it seems there is a clear difference between a bond and a stock. But what is the difference between a preferred stock and a common stock? We need to understand first what a bond is, and then a common stock, and now we will be in a position to somehow make some differences when it comes to the preferred stock. A bond, generally, it's you as an individual giving out a loan, some money to an institution which is going to ensure that you are going to receive some interest, and at the end of the time frame which you have agreed, you are going to receive your principal back. Let's use an example. For instance, Safaricom as a company which is listed in Nairobi Stock Exchange want a loan of 100,000 Kenyan shillings, and they promise they are going to give out 8%, not 80 but 8% interest per annum. So it means you as an individual, you are going to lend Safaricom this money, and in by the end of by the end of every year, let's say if you have agreed they are going to hold this amount for 10 years, it means in every after 6 months you are going to receive 8% in terms of a commission, and by the end of the year you are going to by the end of 10 years you are going to receive your 100,000 Kenyan shillings back. And what do I mean by that? You are going to receive 8% in every 6 months within the year. I mean that after every 6 months, you are going to receive a half of 8%. For instance, if we calculate roughly that using the simple interest formula, for 100,000 Kenyan shillings, you are going to receive 8,000 Kenyan shillings interest per annum. They are going to subdivide this 80,000 Kenyan shillings into two. So after 6 months, you are going to receive the first portion of the interest, that is 4,000 Kenyan shillings, and by the end of the 12 months, which is now like a year, you are also going to receive the other 4,000 Kenyan shillings. So it comes to 8,000 Kenyan shillings as the total interest in 1 year. Now, what's a common stock? You going ahead and buying a common stock of Safaricom as a company, it means that, let's say Safaricom as a company owns around 5 billion shares, which are traded daily in Nairobi Stock Exchange. So if you are going to own, let's say 100 shares of Safaricom, it means that you are an owner of Safaricom by just owning those 100 shares. You own a part of this company. So in essence, you are actually going to receive the benefits of being a business owner. And also you are going to face those challenges which a business owner faces. For example, if Safaricom is going to make some losses, then you as a business owner, you are also going to feel the impact. And if Safaricom is going to make some business, some profits, then at the same time, you are going to receive those benefits in terms of profits, which are going to be subdivided and directed to you through dividends. And also there are other things which I don't want to go into deeper detail. Now, let's kind of differentiate what it means for you to own preferred stock. Why it's so confusing? It's because this tends to be somehow a blend between owning bonds at the same time owning stocks. That's why it's so confusing. Now, when it comes to preferred stocks, you as an individual, you are somehow, you don't want to be a business owner. That is, you don't want to own the common stock. At the same time, you don't want to fully be a person who gives out money in terms of a bond. So you don't want to be a person who is actually loaning out the resources. You somehow want to be a watermelon. You want to be Kalonzo Musyoka. So that's why if you are a person who owns preferred stocks, somehow you receive the benefits which are associated with you holding a bond, and at the same time you have some risks or benefits which are associated with you having common stocks. Let me try to explain, because I believe that's where it's most challenging. If you have preferred stock, if a company declares, for example, the individuals, if the company owns a bond, it is mandatory that it must pay the interest to those individuals who are bond holders, who gave out their bonds, who gave out their loan. It must give out those benefits. But if you own preferred stocks, the directors may decide that they are not going to give out dividends to those individuals who are owning preferred stocks, and there's nothing you can do about it. There may be some caveats where you made some arrangements, kind of local arrangements on the terms and conditions of those preferred stocks, but that is kind of the difference between you having a bond and having a preferred stock. Now, what does it how does a preferred stock relate to a common stock? So for those individuals who are going to own common stocks, it's somehow you are assured the limit, the upper limit of your stocks kind of soaring, moving to upper, or gaining some capital gains are somehow unlimited, which I don't think that it is what is happening to the preferred stocks. And also, those individuals who are owning common stocks, they have voting rights. They can elect the directors, they vote for those directors, which is not the case when it comes to preferred stocks. But when it comes to sharing dividends, the individuals who are preferred, the individuals who have a first priority between the common stockholders and the preferred stockholders, it is the preferred stockholders who are given the first priority when it comes to receiving dividends. They are the first individuals who are sorted before the common stockholders are sorted out. I believe that's kind of the my understanding of what is the difference between owning bonds, preferred stocks, and common stocks. I would like your thoughts in the comment section. Did you kind of have some perception in terms of my explanation? Was I doing it right, or I mumbled through the video? If you are interested in this kind of content, remember to subscribe, like, and also don't forget to share. See you in my next one.